Okay, hello students from my class. This is the first time I'm going to be doing this video for giving you feedback. So let's see how it works. And I want to give you some feedback using one of the students that made a good work. And I think that we can learn from the student. And make sure that when you open your activity one to see the feedback and the grade, you're comparing to this video, okay? So that we all learn and it would be easier and we can have probably better grades. That's what I'm hoping for, to see if this works. Okay, this is one example about having the investigation question answered, okay, of the yellow and blue colors. Which one will have a higher quantity of M&Ms? That would be a good question. And one of the things that is important for the experimental hypothesis is to write the hypothesis before you do the experiment, okay? At the end, you will reject it or you will accept it. So don't worry about this. This is your hypothesis. I want to go on the table as it is. You can see here that the table has a number and a title that tells me exactly what I'm looking at. The student took out the parentheses, which is pretty good because we don't have uncertainties when we count things, when we count drops. Now, we always say comments, but I like more the word analysis. I won't be reading. You can stop the video and you can check out what the student made, but it's a complete analysis of our raw data, okay? It's not about reading the data, the table, because I can do that, but it's about you focusing that group one had a bag, so on. We had only 5 groups. And you can see that group 4, okay, had plenty of blue M&Ms, okay? If you add them up, you can see that they will have, that was the group that had the big bag. You can also go by teams, okay, or groups or bags, which are the same thing. Now, one thing that I want to point out, and this is going to be very good to see if you listen to the video, okay, is that for a t-test, 5 samples is not enough. At least we need 10 samples, but our group only brought 5, and that's okay for this time. Okay, you can always put stop, okay, and check what is a good analysis for this table. Okay, we chose blue and yellow, and here we have the table for the standard deviation, the mean. Okay, very important to write down this plus and minus sign, and table 2, and you can see these numbers, okay? You can analysis of the table, okay? You can stop and read it. You're actually not going to be reading the table, but you can see that there are 8 samples of blue more than the yellow as mean values. Also that we have a higher variability of the blue M&Ms than the yellow M&Ms, okay? Now, important for constructing the graph is to write down the graph number and the title, and always write error bars equal plus minus 1 standard deviation, because there are other types of error bars, and you have to tell the reader which ones are they. You're gonna find circles in your feedback, which means that you're lacking this, or you're lacking the title of the X variable, or that you're lacking the title of the Y. Mean number of M&Ms is a good name for the title of Y. We can see here, okay, that there's a difference of 8 units in mean values between the blue and yellow. You can also see that there is more variability in the error bar of the blue than in the yellow. And we can also say that there is some translapping, okay, overlapping of our error bars, which might mean that the difference of 8 might not be statistically significant, and we need to do a t-test to corroborate this, okay? Take a pause and read the analysis that the student gave. It's a good analysis. You're answering, all of you answer very well the question 4 and 5. And also you wrote down that there was an overlap and that there might be probably not significant, but that you have to perform the t-test. Some of you wrote down the null and alternative hypothesis with, instead of difference, you wrote down relationship. Remember, students, that relationship has to be with correlation, and we are not doing correlation when we have two types of groups that we are comparing. Okay, you see this is not a variable that is continuous. It's either blue or yellow, so it means that we are testing for difference. So take a pause, read the null and the alternative hypothesis if you have any doubt. Again, we all had the point of 4 because we did it together, and we deduced a good scientific statistical conclusion. Now, the last question, you need to justify your answer with data. Go back to your table 1, to your table 2, to your graph 1. Take a pause and read these answer. So maybe you wrote one sentence. Maybe I wrote you that you need to justify. Here it is, justified your answer with your data. Please make sure that this is important, because this type of things is the one that I will be looking for in your lab reports. Okay, well, this is it for now, and this is going to be stopping right now. You can always go back to this and corroborate what you're doing. Thank you for listening. See you next video.